Hey friends, let's talk about recoil control and trigger control.
So here's my recoil tree. The triangle is the Christmas tree shape, dashed line, and I have a black dot as a reference point. We're not trying to shoot that, it's just a reference point for where the front sight rises and falls to. And then we're really just trying to land the round somewhere in this circle. And what we're doing by using this target is it gives us that visual background, so when we're watching the gun and tracking the sights, we can tell if it's going too high, if it's dropping back down below, if it's going right, left, if it's wobbling around. We can see what's going on and diagnose and fix that. This is really a target that's best used by the shooter in your private practice to try to tune, diagnose, and fix things that will make your recoil management better. When you get the recoil management under control and the gun's not jackhammering you back and it's just barely rising and tilting and coming right back down to zero, once you get that, you're going to notice that you can see and track that front sight much better than you ever could before, and begin working that trigger in a smooth cycle that it's not just for high-speed shooting. Even if you're shooting at a slow pace, the trigger never stops. It's in constant motion, it's smooth, and the tracking of the gun becomes a smooth rhythm or cadence. That's when you start shooting at the next level. A handgun is a pop gun. Put the pinky over the slide, and you see that I completely stopped the slide. There's a hot brass in the chamber. So the energy is not that much, okay? What this is energy that's compressed down into a very small window of time, and that's what makes it break free from your grip. A lot of people, they think they have a good grip because they've got contact with the hands, but this hand is low. The base of this thumb is down low. That's the height of that grip on that side. Now they're high up here, high here, but they're low here. Anytime you shoot with support high, 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 the gun has no place to go, and it will tilt slightly back, slightly up, and come back to zero. Anytime a side or an area is left open, and I'll show you how, I have no support on the left side, the gun will seek that path of resistance. That's what energy does. Okay, so that accounts for the gun going right or left and not tracking vertically. So we have to get that equal contact surface and pressure all the way around the gun. It's not about brute strength, and I'll show you that. This is the grip most people come out of the holster with, and they're blocking everything by not flagging that thumb, and they squeeze this thumb up through there and they get this grip. Okay, I've got that grip and it looks like it might be good, but I'm going to squeeze this like the Incredible Hulk, and I can't even pull the slide quickly. It just comes right out of the hand, even with a aggressive grip texture. It's still coming right out of my hand. Now, I'm just going to slightly change that from here to here so the base and the tip of the thumb are high on the frame. This thumb would have to be flagged vertical for me to get that. And the hands are sealed back here normally, but I'm just going to hold it with that one hand, and I'm not even going to squeeze that hard. I'm not even shaking. All right, now I can violently snap the slide and the gun's not coming out of my hand. So when you're shooting, what you'll see in slow motion, it's hard to see at full speed, it'll be slipping out of that left hand. Now people go into all kind of details on how you eliminate that, but it's really just contact surface. It's not brute strength, it's contact surface. You don't have to rotate this arm clockwise and cam in and lock it. You don't have to do all that. What you've got to do is get a full contact surface all the way around the gun with a sealed grip. Once you have that, both hands, wrist, elbows, and forearms will begin absorbing the recoil. And if you don't lock your elbows into the bone structure, just let them rise with the gun during the presentation. Let them be up here at a nice level where they're not turned like a hinge, like a vertical hinge. They're more like this. What will happen is that recoil will absorb into both arms. As soon as it starts happening into both arms, the muzzle rise is cut in half, and it begins to fall right back to the zero instead of going below and doing this. So we're reducing that amplitude, but we're also watching and tuning this. Now if you want to cam this wrist in a little bit, rotate it clockwise, just make sure it's high. And some people have control here a takedown lever that they can press on. That's a great thing too. But what you want is just high control all the way around the gun, and it will behave. Okay, but let me show you what I'm talking about. And we'll use this recoil target. Stand back here at 5 yards, and maybe you'll be able to see a little bit of this. So I'm going to wait until I get into the target before I prep the trigger. I never enter the trigger guard unless I'm shooting or on target. I got a good backdrop. Here we go. Now I'm gonna watch for my sight to cross that little dot. I pressed it when it was right here. I didn't wait till it was in the middle. I pressed it there. It rise and fall right back to where it was at. My forward stance was not real aggressive, so it did go kind of slow. But if I put a little bit more of an aggressive stance into it and drive out, I'm not locking my arms. Ah, that came right back down instantly. It only went about that high, and I could have actually pressed another shot instantly. And so let me shoot a couple of shots. I'll hammer these, but I'm not really trying to do this for speed, just to prove a point. Okay. All right, so there I got 2 shots, one there in the black, one there in the black, and that was about a 1/4 second split. Okay, but even if it's a slower pace, we're still just watching the recoil. And what's happening is now that the recoil is under control, I can do something else. When I press the shot, I feel it rise. I feel the pull. I know I can feel that shot snap. When it does, the slide is cycling, but I'm relaxing this finger as it rises, and it'll get a nice healthy reset. Relax, reset on the way up, prep on the way down. So when I'm coming settling back in on the target, my trigger is prepped. Reset, prep. What I'm not doing is going recoil and then a slow reset while I'm watching the sights, and then as soon as I get the click, snatch the trigger. What you're better off doing is getting the recoil under control, learning how to operate that trigger, reset on the way up, prep on the way back down. Then you got that quality time where you're sitting on the trigger prepped. It's going to have minimal movement when you shoot, and it's going to be very accurate and very quick. And then I can repeat that cycle over and over. Now I don't have many rounds. I didn't plan on shooting a whole lot, but let me just fire 2 or 3 rounds. I'll fire till the slide stops. All right, so I can shoot as fast as I can move the trigger, and my shots, I'm just pressing when it comes back down. I'm tracking recoil, incorporating the trigger. Suddenly I can shoot with a cadence or rhythm, whether it's very fast, da 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 da, or half second, da 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 da, or 1 second, da 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 da. But it's a rhythm. It keeps that motion of the trigger cycle moving. It doesn't stop and start, which causes a spike.